This session is being recorded. Uh, if anyone indulges in an unparliamentary behavior, that person can be removed from the meeting room by the admins without any prior warning. Please ensure that your noise making devices are on silent or switched off mode. Can we just do a quick check in 5 seconds? You don't want them turning on while your mics are off. 4, 3, 2, 1. You are encouraged to speak on religion, sex, and politics, provided you speak on these topics responsibly and without offending anyone. I would request you to keep your videos on and your uploads flowing throughout the meeting. Be the kind of audience to your speakers as you'd want to be for them. To the Toastmaster of the day, Table Topics Master, and General Evaluator. Please have a smart audio video check before you hand over to each speaker. Timer will flash 3 cards to every speaker: green, yellow, and red. Green means that you've reached the minimum qualifying time. Yellow means you need to start concluding, and red means that you're way past your allotted time. You have got maximum 30 seconds. Use the features of raising a hand or applause or thumbs up to showcase your appreciation of the speakers. Do not indulge in chat messages to everyone unless instructed or required. Unfortunately, today the chat is not working on a one-to-one basis. Kindly stay on mute while not speaking to avoid noises of your own. And polls will be launched after each section and they will quickly close. With that, I am going to introduce the presiding officer for today, who's probably been the presiding officer for much of his session. A very dedicated Toastmaster. I don't recall a single time that he has missed a meeting. He's made it a point always to be present. So, with a huge round of applause, let us welcome our presiding officer for today, Toastmaster Kapil Kakkar.
Thank you, Rupinder. Thank you so much. Welcome everyone in our meeting number 511. We don't have any guests today, but still it's my duty to introduce all the guests. So I will start with Haritika, you first. So could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, good morning. I'm not a guest anymore. I think it's like fifth or sixth meeting I'm attending here. I always feel good to attend the meetings from Blue Quest. So looking forward to another meeting. Thank you and over to you.
Yeah, Shakti, I said we don't have many guests today. So okay, so Elisa, it's time for you to introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Elisa Schneider, and I'm visiting from Puerto Rico. I'm very thankful for Priya for the invitation to be here. I was here last week, and I absolutely loved it. I said I have to return again. So thank you so much for having me. And I just want to let you know that my friend Sheila is here as well, and I'm by invitation by me. So thank you.
For a quick introduction.
Sorry, Kapil, we didn't hear you in the beginning.
Hello, Sheila, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
All right. So can we have a quick introduction from your end?
Sure. Here, I'll turn my video on. It's really late over here. So I'm sorry, my lighting's not great, but so I'm Sheila McIntyre. I'm from Jamestown, New York. So it's like 10 o'clock at night, our time here. And so I wanted to come because Elisa was talking about Toastmasters. And then on top of that, my dad is from India. So I'm like, I want to come if I can.
Wonderful. Welcome.
Welcome.
Vardhan, could we have a quick introduction?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Vardhan Kaushik, and this is my second meeting at Blue Quest Toastmaster Club. And last time I really liked it, and I learned a lot from all of you. And this time looking forward to learn more and contribute to the meeting also. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Welcome. Raj. Hello, Raj, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm Raj Mehta. I'm not a guest anymore. I feel that I'm a member of this club. Thank you very much for accepting me. Thank you.
Thank you, Raj. Shipriya, you are no longer a guest, but I want to ask, why didn't you join Comedy Morning with Kapil last time?
Hi, Mr. Presiding Officer. Unfortunately, I had a official meeting and I couldn't skip that. So hence I'm here today. I don't have a meeting and I am joining today.
Okay, thank you. Glad to have you here. Gayatri?
This is one meeting for which I wake up, even if I don't feel like waking up. You can see my sleepy eyes, but I pulled myself together and I'm attending because I really wanted to see Shakti Priya being the team on. And I'm also excited about Haritika's first speech. And I would also love to see how Elisa plays the Cromarian. It was an exciting session all in all. Didn't want to miss it at all.
Yeah, certainly. Nimisha, over to you.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. And yes, I did not miss Comedy Mornings with Kapil. And yes, again, I will say that this, I don't feel that I'm a guest. You're calling me, but I don't feel like I'm a guest. I feel like a member giving a presiding address. So I actually love the people around here, and that's why I wake up and come here. And I can see that more people are coming here, so we can see that how it's like a honey. This club is like a honey, and bees are coming. More and more bees are coming. I can see Sheila and Elisa now, so it's a great feeling. Thank you.
Yeah, and you are more regular than many of our members. Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. With this, it's now time to introduce our team mod of the day, who is Shakti Priya. Shakti Priya, you are more like a expat, right? You join you join when you feel like, but it's always pleasure to have you in our meeting. And I'm looking forward to hear you as a team mod of the day. So over to you, Shakti.
Thank you so much, Kapil, our presiding officer. Good morning, good evening, good night, everyone. I am also joining from Florida, Sheila, so we're in the same time zone, but for Elisa, it's even 1 hour ahead of us. So thank you so much for all the night owls who made it in the morning and all the morning risers who made it in the night. Thank you for coming here. And today our meeting's theme is #throwback. And I put the hashtag in purpose because we are all present in a virtual environment here, and because of COVID hitting, we'll have to talk about it. Because of COVID hitting, all of us have been able to visit different countries and talk to so many people from all around the world. And everything bad, you can always see something good coming out of it. You can see a silver lining coming out of it. And I thought, with the end of the year coming up, usually we all have plans to go and visit our families and so and so. And a lot of us are restricted in that aspect. And those of us who can still do it, amazing. I hope you enjoy your time. But there are a lot of us who cannot. So this is just a means of us throwing back to one of our most memorable moments in life. So for a few of you here, I did ask about your most memorable moment, and I will be introducing the speakers on stage and the general evaluator, I will be telling about the most memorable moment that they shared with me. But for the rest of you, I will be asking you in between. So think about that one most memorable moment that you would like to share with all of us. For our guests present here who haven't, and I think Vardhan, you have attended the last meeting, and this is your second meeting. So I just like to go about the Toastmaster meeting structure one more time. We have 3 basic sections in a particular meeting. The first is the prepared speeches section. Today we have 2 prepared speeches. One is given by Ruchita, the other by Hartika, I guess in that order, yes. And the second section is the table topic section, which is an impromptu speaking section. Our table topic master for today is Payal, and she would be calling upon the guests, people who have not been a speaker and other guests in the club, to facilitate us and giving us a question and asking us to answer it within 1 to 2 minutes of time frame. And the third section would be our evaluation section, which will be run by our general evaluator, DTM Rupinder Singh. This is to give feedback on the speeches as well as the table topics and in general the meeting. That is how we'll proceed today. And we have a technical table for which I will be calling our general evaluator, which for him, his most memorable moment is on May 10th, 2003 at 11:15 p.m. So let's go back 17 and a half years. Holding Anhad in his arms for the first time and telling him that, Rupinder telling him that I am your dad and that he should never think it the other way around. Of course, like his mother, Anhad never listened to him. So Rupi, please Distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh, I'm so honored to call you on stage to call upon your tag team and your technical table and introducing them before we go ahead with the first section of the meeting.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Before I call my tag team on stage, I would like to call out that please maintain decorum. There is a speaker on stage. Let's not chat with everyone when there is a speaker on stage. As a general evaluator, my task is to monitor and hopefully mentor the meeting. I am assisted in my task by my 2 speech evaluators, and I'm proud to say that I've got probably the best collection of speech evaluators today in Distinguished Toastmaster Shaurendra Bhaumik and Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. I would like to welcome them. Thank you very much for participating. You will be called upon to give speech objectives in due course of time. I would request that you provide encouraging, effective, engaging, and empowering evaluations. Apart from that, a meeting needs, in a meeting, communication needs to be concise, clear, and correct. And I've got 3 role players here who will help me do just that. My first role player is the timer who will help us keep our conversations and our communication concise. May I request Kapil to please explain his role to the audience.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Rupinder. My role today is to time every speaker, evaluators, as well as table topic participants. For speakers, we have an icebreaker speech today. So for that, time allotted is 4 to 6 minutes. So I will be flagging green card at the end of 4 minutes, yellow card at the end of 5 minutes, and red card at the end of 6 minutes. And for prepared speech, the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. So again, I will be flagging green card at the end of 5 minutes, yellow card at the end of 6 minutes, and red card at the end of 7 minutes. For evaluation, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. So I will be flagging green card at the end of 2 minutes, yellow card at 2.5 minutes, and red card at the end of 3 minutes. For table topics, time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. Again, I will be flagging green card at the end of 1 minute, yellow at 1.5 minutes, and red card at the end of 2 minutes. That's about it. Thank you, Rupinder. Over to you.
Thank you, Kapil. And just to confirm, you will be flagging the cards using by slide sharing or by
Yeah,
changing your background? By slide sharing.
by slide share.
Thank you very much. Just some additional information. There's a 30-second grace on either side in case of prepared speeches and in case of speech evaluations. Table topics, you have a grace period of 30 seconds only on the upper side. Moving on, we have our second role player who will help us keep our communication clear, and that is Nimisha. Let's have a round of applause for them.
Thank you so much, Mr. Journal Evaluator, Toastmaster Rupinder. Today, I will be the counter of this meeting. And in this, just like when I speak, so some things are not delivered clear because of the crutches or because of the unwanted pauses. So the pauses which I am taking right now are the sounds which do not deliver the messages clear. So I will be noting all down every filler word. Sometimes we have and so as the filler. So all these kind of things, all these kind of the fillers, I will be noting down for the all the speakers who are coming onto the stage, and I will deliver my report when called upon by Mr. Journal Evaluator. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Journal Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Nimisha. And I would now like to call upon our grammarian coming to us all the way from Puerto Rico. I hope I'm getting that right. I had a struggle with that when talking to Shakti last night. Let's welcome our grammarian and our word master, Alyssa Schneider.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thank you so much for this warm welcome. I'm so excited to be here with you. And tonight, I would like to introduce this morning, I would like to introduce the word of the day, reminisce. To reminisce, in line with our theme, means to indulge in an enjoyable recollection of past events. So I encourage you today to think of this word and include it in your table topics and your speeches, any chance you get, and I will be taking count and present the winner at the night. For the rest of the part, I will be noting all the different grammar aspects of this conversation and different speeches. I'm going to be hoping for excellent vocabulary and beautiful phrases. At the end, I will give my report. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Alyssa. And speaking of reminisce, each and every role player that I have introduced, I have something reminiscent about them. When it comes to Raj Mehta, I remember his humorous speech involving judges last year. It was a hilarious speech. When it comes to Shaurendra Bhaumik, I remember how he encouraged me on my way to Chicago. When it comes to Kapil, all I remember is dedication. When it comes to Nimisha, all I remember, and the one thing that I remember about her is her enthusiasm. And when it comes to Alyssa, what I'm reminded of is excitement. And excitement is what I'm looking forward to hear in today's meeting as I hand it back to our Toastmaster of the day, Shakti Priya Kauri.
Thank you so much, DTM Rupinder Singh. Before we start our speeches, I hope you all had a little bit of time to think about your most memorable moment of your life. Let's ask Payal, our table topic master. Would you like to give us a 20-second to 30-second most memorable moment of your life description, please?
Sure. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Shakti. Yeah, exactly. I was spending this time thinking about my most memorable moment, and I'm very bad at impromptu thinking as well. So, but I managed somehow. I still remember the day I stepped out of home to pursue my studies in college. That was I'm basically from West Bengal, so like my native is Siliguri, but I shifted to Calcutta to pursue my graduation from St. Xavier's College. So I think, and at that time, being a part of a profound institution like St. Xavier's was a big achievement. So, and I being not an average, above average student was a great achievement for me. So I think that was the most memorable moment for me at that point of time.
That's awesome, Payal.
Thank you so much.
And I'm so glad that you relate to something that talks about how you have achieved something that you thought you could never do it, or something that makes you feel like, yes, I am above average, or yes, I am good at it. Congratulations on getting that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll ask one more person before we start the speeches for today. Nimisha, welcome to the meeting. I didn't get to introduce you, but could you please enlighten us with your most memorable moment of life?
Yes, thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. Well, I reminiscent thinking about so many things in my life, but the one thing which I always cherish is that I always used to have lunch with my brother in school. The moment the bell rings, I pick up my lunch and move to directly to my brother's class, and then used to sit. He was a little very shy person, and I has to, it takes me half an hour to ask. He was always being, beaten by some kids in the class. It takes me, imagine, it takes me 30 minutes to take out a name who is beating him. And this is the kind of things which I remember that I used to be like, elder sister, and kids in his class used to be afraid of me because they know they have beaten him and all. So when I think, I don't have a very good memory, but whenever I think of the childhood, this is the very first memory which flashes in my mind.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Nimisha. Yeah, this reminds me of another memory in my life, something similar, having lunch at school with my sister and one of my cousins. But yes, certainly it's the little things that make you reminisce about all of that in a very, very positive manner. All right. With that, let's go ahead with our prepared speeches section for today. Our first speaker for today is Ruchita, who would be giving her level 2 project 1, which is understanding your communication style. And to evaluate her, we have double DTM Raj Mehta here today. Raj, would you please tell us her objectives and also give us your most memorable moment while you're doing that?
Shakti-Priya, I was told that I would be evaluating Haritika Hosa for her icebreaker speech.
That is right. I'll do the evaluation for her. Shaurendra, I'll do the evaluation.
All right. Okay. From the messages, I thought reverse. I am so sorry. All right. Then let me call Shaurendra, double DTM Shaurendra Singh. Shaurendra Bhaumik on stage. And he has given me his most memorable moment. It is the birth of his first child in Kanpur. He was at Jamshedpur and got the news late at night. He could only see his son after 4 days, but his son just held his finger when he touched him. That was the most ultimate memorable moment for Shaurendra, and I feel that we cannot replace that at all. DTM Shaurendra Singh Bhaumik, can you please take away with the objectives for Ruchita? Thank you.
Thank you, madam. But before that, I just wanted to check whether Nimisha went and punched those guys who had bothered her brother, because that is a question which was left open. Okay, now back to Ruchita today is doing her speech on understanding your communication style. The purpose of the speech would be to learn from different communication styles and identify her primary style. The purpose of the speech also is for the member to share the impact of her style on others through a relevant story or something which will focus on how she can show her style of communication. All the very best, Ritika, and over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Ruchita, Understanding your communication style. Understanding your communication style. Ruchita, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
You are audible.
Good. Okay. How many of you feel that being a manager is tough? You are expected to make things happen. People count on you. It is tough spot to be in, especially when you are expected to put out fires and get results for your stakeholders. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Topic of my speech is understanding your communication style. In line with our theme today, let me take back you to the year 2010, when I was first promoted from an individual contributor role to a team lead role. As you say, with roles comes responsibility. So I was responsible for the career growth of five people reporting into me and helping me achieve my key performance indicators. No matter how good I was as an individual contributor, but transition to a team lead role was not easy for me. It was a steep learning curve, which I realized only when I was 6 months into the role and nominated for an I-Lead program within my organization. The objective of the program was to identify your key performance indicator. As a first step in the program, it was a 360-degree feedback. The consolidated report of that feedback was given to us. And when I looked at my report, it was not A or B, it was C in communication. Let me explain this to you in a little bit more detail. In a 360-degree feedback, a questionnaire is shared with your seniors, peers, yourself, like you as a participant also give your assessment, and your team members are given a questionnaire where where you get an assessment of how you communicate, what are your influential skills, and how you bond with the team. Now, when I got my consolidated report and I looked into it, on a maximum score of 5, I scored 3.6 in communication. Of course, the feedback and the report was anonymous, but you still get to know in which category you scored less. And for me, it was my communication with my team, the team who was reporting into me. Well, it is not easy to accept your blind spots. The format of the training was that you have to understand your improvement areas and then work with an external coach to improve those areas. And after 6 months, a new assessment will happen to see what you have learned and gauge your performance on those areas. Coming back to my communication style, I understood that my communication style with my team was authoritative. I was controlling and demanding with my team. Of course, this hampers your relationship with your team members. To give an example, sentences used during an authoritative style of communication is, I need it within 2 days. Share your report with me by Thursday end of the day. Why you did not came to me earlier? Why is this not done till now? Now, what people feel at the end who are receiving the communication is they are defensive, resentful, humiliated by words. Well, communication is not only about the way we speak or the words we choose, it is also about the volume, the body language, tone, also known as paralanguage. But the good news is that you can improve communication, you can learn how to communicate. So, my journey to transform my communication style started from this point. Slowly and steadily, with constant practice of choosing my words, I adjusted my tone, volume, based on situation. Instead of saying why, I started asking how I can help you to speed up the things. By when do you think we will be able to complete this task? From authoritative to assertive. Assertiveness is nothing but a palatable way where you can understand what the listener is going through and you are able to complete your conversation in a more palatable way. Well, effective without attacking or disregarding the person on the other side. Effective communication does not mean having talking the loudest, getting the last word, or avoiding conflict. On the contrary, it means understanding your need and learning how to express this clearly, while also valuing messages you receive from others. Well, it was much needed in a professional setting as well as in a personal setting as well. Over the years, I have improved a lot on my communication. My team now look up to me as a clear, confident, and assertive, nurturing speaker who is really interested in bringing the best out of them. I'm still growing and still learning. And with each passing day, I'm improving on my communication style with people around me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful speech about your communication style, Ruchita. When I asked her before the meeting what her most memorable moment was, she asked me to pick between two, but I'm just going to go ahead and say both of them because I cannot choose for you which is the more happier one. The first was at the birth of her niece. We'd like to hear more about that in one of your speeches, I guess. And the second is that she got married last year, thankfully, before all the craziness of COVID hit. So congratulations for that, definitely. Because a lot of people I know, even my best friend, she planned her wedding and then could not do it in a big setting. So had to go for a smaller one. A lot of people are doing that. So yay, you got it clear before then. All right, before we go ahead with our next speech, I would love to hear from our guest, Sheila. Could you tell us about your most memorable moment?
Well, I've been sitting here thinking about it, and in reminiscing about things in the past, I have a lot of memorable moments, but one of the ones is more recent. In COVID, we've been shut down, and we had lost 2 kitties within 2 months, so it was a pretty sad time. But because they had been sick, I hadn't been able to go anywhere. In July, I was actually able to meet one of my friends, and we visited down in North Carolina. And I was actually able to see the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, for the first time in my life and enjoy spending time on the beach. And so what was a sad time ended up actually being giving segue to a beautiful moment with my friends and watching the beauty of the ocean and spending the day there. So
Thank you so much, Sheila. I'm really sorry to hear about the kitties. I lost a kitty once too, and I know how it feels. But it's wonderful how you can still segue into something positive and take something positive out of it. And it's the tough times when you're with people that you realize the importance of your people with you. So I'm glad you got that. Couple, would you please reminisce with us about your memorable moment?
Yeah, so if I look back, I think that the day I received my first paycheck, that was the most memorable moment for my life, because this is one thing that I strived for when I was studying. And getting that paycheck physically was a great feeling, because these days we get online transfer in our bank account. And my boss knew that this is my first paycheck, so he actually organized a small get together, and he actually addressed the whole people that this is Kapil's paycheck, all the best to Kapil for his future endeavors and career growth, etc. So that was really special.
I completely understand. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Kapil. All right, let's go ahead with our second speech for today. And now, rightfully, let's call DTM Raj Mehta on stage to give us his most memorable moment and the speech objectives for Hartika's icebreaker.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the Day, Shaktipriya, DTM. My most memorable moment is the one when I was studying in, I think, 3rd or 4th class, and I used to play a lot with the glass balls. like you know them, we call them kanche, and I had collected a lot of them, but my mother was not happy with them, with that. And what she did, she hid all of them at one place, and then she asked me that she will give me those glass balls uh, only when I will tell her in some table of 9, table of 10, or you think like that. So I used to get them back, but in pieces, or in small installments. So that was something I could remember it today, because that is also the one of the way I learned tables. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Now coming on to the objectives of the icebreaker speech, or to be delivered by Toastmaster Haritika Ahuja. So it is an icebreaker speech, and it is a custom in Toastmaster that after every icebreaker speech, the audience stand at their place and give a clap. In addition to that, the objective of the speech is to for a person to come on the stage and deliver a speech about his or her own introduction. That can be done in any way. That is up to the speaker, and even speaker is also allowed to use paper in case he or she wants to use it. All the best to Toastmaster Haritika Ahuja for her icebreaker speech, the title of which is An Arranged Love Affair. An Arranged Love Affair, Toastmaster Haritika Ahuja. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Oh, before Haritika speaks, I would just like to introduce her moment as well. Her most memorable moment was March 2018, when her parents decided to construct their new house, but no one was able to look after that. That moment, she decided to look after it along with her studies, because she didn't have much pressure from the college, and well, she's just being humble there. That proud face that her parents had on the day of housewarming is her most memorable moment and the most memorable day for her. With this, let's listen to her icebreaker speech. Haritika Ahuja, An Arranged Love Affair, An Arranged Love Affair, Haritika Ahuja.
Good morning, everyone. How many of you are thinking from the title that my family was looking for a boy for me to get married? Can I see it by raise of hand? So most of you are saying yes, but this is not the story. I started my school in Bhiwani. I chose commerce because no one in my family was from commerce background. I did my college in Delhi and now doing my articleship here in Bhiwani again after doing a 1 year articleship in Delhi. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster and other people thinking that I am looking for some boy. A very common dialogue in Hindi movies is, हम अपनी इस दोस्ती को रिश्तेदारी में बदल देते हैं. Let's convert our friendship to a relationship. I know that this sounds very weird, but this is what it means. My mother is a teacher. She and my accounts teacher were good friends. One day, they got together and said, let us change our job into a relationship. And then they proposed that one friend's daughter get married to another friend's daughter. In case you're thinking that I was going to get married, relax. The name of the relationship is Chartered Accountancy. My teacher wanted her daughter to be a chartered accountant, and she thought that her daughter was going to get bored. So she decided to enroll me in the same course. Hence it came to pass that since the last 4 years, I had a study relationship with accountancy. People say that love makes you go places. My love brought me to Delhi, where I did BCom honors from Acharya Nareन्द्ra College. It was the best time of my life. You know why? In my second year, my professor thought that I was not paying attention in the class. He told me not to come in the class for the next 3 months. That is the remaining part of the semester. He also told me not to worry about the attendance. It was like an achievement for me that I need not to come to the class and I get the attendance. I decided to spend the time in going to date with my love. Now I understand how husbands feel when their wives tell them, I'm not going to talk to you, and they actually don't talk to them. So you won't believe what kind of things a person does for love. I almost gave up accounts to be with commerce, but then accounts called me back to Lakshmi Nagar, the mecca of all chartered accountants. There, I also got an articleship in one of the top 10 CA firms. People who think that chartered accountants earn a lot. Let me tell you about what articleship is like. You get paid a stipend of rupees 6,000 a month. You share a room with two other people, each of whom is paying 8,000 a month. Your relationship with accounts better be blessed because of your parents who are paying your rent. But then the firm tried to play the villain. First, they sent me home due to COVID, made me work in double shift. And icing on the cake was they reduced my stipend to 2,000, saying that I don't have to pay the rent. I told them you were anyways not paying my rent. Okay. So now here I'm back in my home, back to my all love that was arranged for me by my mother and my accounts teacher. Now I think that as an accountant, I cannot survive on a stipend of rupees 2,000. I think I need to make more money. And in order to make more money, I need to learn to communicate better. While I love accounts very much, I'm thinking of ditching accounts for communication and better public speaking. And what better place to learn than Toastmaster? Because after all, Toastmaster is the place where leaders are made. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Haritika. That was a very, very enjoyable icebreaker. I love your vivid descriptions of all your feeling towards everything in life. Thank you. Before we start our next section of our meeting, let's quickly ask Gayatri, in 30 seconds, your most memorable moment.
I spent about a month in Rishikesh in May 2018. That was the time I reminisce even today because I spent some of my most amazing days over there. I was there for the yoga training and it was a yoga retreat. So I was actually living life of a yogi and it was amazing. My health had, improved a lot when I was there. So yes, I definitely reminisce that time. We were river rafting in Ganga. We used to spend a lot of time on the banks of River Ganga. And it was amazing. I made some really good friends there.
That's awesome. That sounds great. Thank you. Alisa, your turn. 30 seconds, most memorable moment. I know I asked you, but you're going to go and say it anyway.
Awesome. So when I was a kid, I grew up in a home where my parents always talked about God this and God that. But finally, even at the age of 4, I realized that this was something real that I wanted to take hold of. And so when I was 4 years old, I decided I wanted a relationship with God. And that has since changed my life completely. And so I'm so thankful for that best memorable moment in my life.
Thank you. That's awesome that you can remember something from when you were 4 years old. If you ask me, I just remember throwing toys outside the window, I guess. Shiva, can we have your most memorable moment, please? Are you there? TTM Shivpriya Gauri? All right. Let's move to Vardhan. Are you here?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, can we have?
Yeah, my most memorable moment is in my second year of college. I was struggling to get a paid project, because you need to have some experience before you get a paid project. So after doing a couple of free projects for friends and other people, I finally got my first paid project as a software developer in my second year, and that was a most memorable moment till now. I was really happy to get that. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. In your second year of engineering, okay, I feel you. Awesome.
No,
Thank you.
Now I'm graduated, but when I was in second year.
When you were, I got that.
Okay.
That's great. Awesome. And finally, our guest, Khushbu, would you please delight us with your most memorable moment?
I reminisce a lot of moments which were memorable. But recently, during COVID times, the most memorable moment has been dreaming of opening a studio, a drama and a story studio in Jaipur, which was never there on my cards. But the dream came, and now that I'm working for that dream is actually a memorable moment for me, because when I look back, when I dreamt of having a studio, was something which was never there on the cards, and it is so empowering for me. It has empowered me, and I have registered my company for that. So I now have a registered company, and this is a big stepping stone in realizing my dream of getting a story and a drama studio in Jaipur. Plus, I am been selected by one of the greatest story and drama educator in India for a personal coaching who will help me to develop this project. So this is actually the most memorable moment of my life, which I'm still living it, still synchronizing within me. So yes.
Thank you so much. That's awesome when you get a dream out of nowhere and you're realizing it. Congratulations to you. With that, we are done with the prepared speeches for today, and I would love to kindly hand over the stage to Toastmaster Payal Agarwal to go ahead with our impromptu section. Thank you, everyone.
Mute.
Yeah. Am I audible? Yeah. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Shakti. It's lovely hearing you. So let me carry on the session forward with our table topic session. So as we reminisce all the good times we had from our past, let us, sorry, is there anything I need to, okay. As we reminisce all the moments from our past, let me take this theme a little forward by talking about change, which is inevitable with all the good memories we had in our past. So starting with my first table topic, can I have a volunteer for it? Or should I just pick someone randomly? And I think I'll just go with the guests first, starting with Sheila. Can I request Sheila to speak on a topic which I have for her?
Sure.
Yeah, Sheila, great. So this is the topic for you, Sheila. Since change is obvious in everybody's life, since change is obvious in everybody's life, in what many ways have you changed in the last 10 years? Since change is obvious in everybody's life, in what many ways have you changed in the last years? Over to you, Sheila.
So in reflecting, I can't say reminiscing, but in reflecting, I find that 10 years ago, I tended to be a lot more impatient. I was definitely a type A personality, way more than I am now. And I just let things get to me more often. And I find myself giving a lot more grace to people, being a lot more forgiving than I used to be. I used to hold grudges. I try and let things go now. And I just really try and be patient with people, because I know that I'm not perfect, and I know that I can't expect others to be. I have still a long way to go, but I just find that I've mellowed over the last 10 years, and things I used to think were just so horrible, I realize in the grand scheme of things, just doesn't really matter so much.
That's great, Sheila. I think I share some of your thoughts, so it was great hearing you. Okay, over to the next speaker for a table topic. Can I have Elisa as our next speaker? Elisa, are you there?
Yep, I hear you.
Oh, okay, that's for you. As we are heading towards a modern society, do you feel it's still possible for us to stay in touch with our deep-rooted values? So over to you, Elisa.
Okay. So the question is, as we're staying in touch, as we're becoming more modern, can we stay in touch with our deep-rooted values?
Exactly.
Okay. I think that values is something that we cultivate from day to day. I think that values are something that we get to choose on a daily basis. And it comes in lots of different forms. So for instance, I can decide what movies I'm going to watch, what music I'm going to listen to, what friends I'm going to spend time with, what work environment I'm going to put myself into. So as the world changes, as it becomes more technologically advanced, as it becomes more each person to his own, and we're all on our cell phone and we're all texting, I think that we still have a choice to decide what path in life we want to take and for us to make the most of it. Because ultimately, we decide what we expose ourselves to and what influences we allow into our lives. And it's not just about our life, it's about our children's lives. And I have 5 girl cousins. They're all in one family. When you visit them, they all want to talk to you at one time. It's very scary. But one thing that I appreciate about their father is that he's very much aware of the technology that's coming into their life. So they share a Facebook account. Their parents are very much aware of what's happening with that. And they actually text me through their parents' account. And it's great to see that influence coming in and being monitored and measured. So obviously with children, that's something to keep in account. But with us as well, every day we get to be around the people that we love the most, who share our values and who share in our beliefs. And so I think that no matter what happens in the future, if we hang on tight to those things that we believe in, we'll be just fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elisa. That was great. I think I'm always confused about our value system and being modern at the same time. So I think I got away now. Thank you so much. So over to our next table topic speaker. Can I have Khushbu on the stage to take a table topic? Khushbu, this is for you. Are you there, Khushbu?
Yes,
are you there?
yes, I'm there.
Yeah, okay. Khushbu, if you don't mind, are you married or single? I mean, I'm not very sure.
I am married, but thank you
Okay,
for calling
then
me if
it
I look
is
like a single girl.
you
I'm
can't make
married,
out these days. It's very difficult.
married for
Women
9
are
years.
empowered by looks also these days. Okay, that's for you. So anything about your spouse you feel has drastically changed from the time you have known him or her? In your case, him. So anything about your spouse you feel has drastically changed from the time you have known him?
Okay. So when I reminisce about my past with my husband, when I met him, he was a big socialite. And I was a complete reserve girl who was always in her cocoon, in her shell. And every time I used to go out with him, I used to chat with him, I used to observe his interaction with all the people in his personal life, in his professional life, in his friend circle. It has brought a change in me. And that change was to be more and more sociable. I never liked partying. I never liked going out. I never liked uh, meeting too many people. But with him, I started enjoying these things because I felt that before getting married to him, before meeting him, I was never exposed to that aspect of my life. So what the most important change that my husband brought in my life is making me more socially viable, I would say. Today, I would like to talk to anyone I meet. I can approach anyone for help. I can speak to anyone. So he has helped me to move out of my cocoon of that reserved mindset that you cannot approach anyone or everyone. He has made me, he has given me that open mindedness. So yes, over to you, Payal.
Thank you so much, Khushu. I think in my case, it's just the other way. Just turn the table around. It's just exactly the other way. My husband is very reserved, and I wouldn't say I was a socialite, but not like him. Unlike him, I wasn't that reserved. So it's just the other way, and that's the reason I'm here in Toastmasters now after 10 years of marriage. So okay, so I have my next speaker. I'll request Shivpriya as she wanted to speak on the topic. Shiv, it will be a delight hearing you. So, Shivpriya, this is for you. Is there anything about your appearance or look? Is there anything about your appearance or look that you feel needs a change or makeover? That you feel needs a change or makeover? Over to you, Shivpriya. Thank you so much.
January 17, 2006, I turned 16. I officially got this license to actually have a crush on a boy. My mom said that this is the year where your heart breaks and your heart makes. And I was in my journey to finding that most handsome man in my class, the fairest man. And guess what? I did. For the next 3 years of my life, I always fell for the person who was most attractive. But guess what? I'm not 16 anymore. Guess what? I'm not 26 also. I'm a 30-year-old woman who had underwent a lot of experiences in life. And in these 14 years, what I've learned is that when you look at somebody for the first time, yes, you're only attracted to what is on the outside. The more you spend time with someone, you actually start falling for what is on the inside. Think about it. Probably I'm not the most attractive person in the room. I'm probably not even the most attractive person in my house, and I live alone. The mirror has a better face. If I had to believe that only what is on the outside is what matters, trust me, I would never get a chance in this life. But probably I need to start making up, or I need to make things beautiful on the inside so that if somebody wants to be with me, I want them to stay with me forever. It is not just for a minute, it's not just for a day that somebody likes me. I want the person to like me forever. That means I have to continuously start looking good from the inside. So yes, if you want to wear pretty dresses like me, and I'm sure you should because that makes you feel happy, but do it for yourself, not because you want someone else to be attracted to you. If you really want someone to stick with you forever, start making up or start wearing makeup on the inside so that you look more beautiful even from within. What do you say, Madam Table Topics Master?
Thank you so much, Shivpriya. I think I have to, I share the same thoughts because this has changed over the years because I used to be very conscious about the way I look, but I later realized after marriage with the kind of responsibilities I had to take that this is not a permanent solution. You have to look good from the inside. And yeah, you can dress up, you can make yourself look, but that's the only way. That's just a way to look good, but you have to, like what you said, you have to do a makeover from the inside to look good. That's great, Shivpriya. So I have my next speaker, Vardhan, who wanted to speak, and that's my last table topic if we're on time. So Vardhan, can
I
we
would
have
suggest
you?
we have
Can we have
Vardhan.
one more?
We can have
Okay.
Vardhan and then we can have Gayatri.
Gayatri, because she raised her hand the first, and I would really love to see her speak as well. Thank you.
Sure. This is for you, Vardhan. It's about women, so it will be interesting to hear from you. As modern women has changed the very face of Indian society, are you happy about it, or you feel it has put a lot of pressure on the male counterparts? As modern women, I repeat, as modern women has changed the very face of Indian society, are you happy about it, or you feel it has put a lot of pressure on their male counterparts in the work front as well as the personal front?
Yeah, thank you for giving me this topic. I think I'm very happy about it because because mm, uh, because it has given us a chance to improve ourselves also. Like because the level is up now. Like because you are like, women in our society are doing really well in all the fields, and now to compete, we have to do our do more to be at that level. Yeah, so I'm really happy about this. Yeah, thank you. That's
Yeah, that's great, Vardhan. I know it's a little difficult to speak on this. Anyways, it was great hearing you, Vardhan. So Gayatri, can we have you as our next speaker for?
Yes.
Yeah, Gayatri, this is for you. One single thing given a chance that you would like to change about yourself. One single thing that you would like to change about yourself. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Payal. There is one thing that I would like to change about myself. I am extremely impulsive. I don't think before I express myself. In some ways, it is my strength because I don't keep anything in my mind. I don't have a trauma accumulated in my heart. It is all out there. So I am pretty clean from inside. However, when it comes to being impulsive, I tend to hurt other people. I remember this one particular incident. We were in a picnic, it was an office tour, and we were in Barcelona. One of my friends and my colleague, Neha, was with me. I am not a very traveling kind of a person. I love to travel alone. I love to explore everything alone. When I'm with somebody, I'm a little distracted. I'm more into myself. Neha didn't really get the kind of company she was expecting. When I reflect upon that particular incident, I realized that sometimes it is not about how I feel, but sometimes it is about somebody else's memory that was in making. When I look back at the times I reminisce, Barcelona episode is not one of it because, well, I didn't really enjoy. Having said that, Neha was extremely excited about Barcelona trip because it was her first outing abroad. She wanted it to be perfect. She had told everyone. And she wanted the time she spent in Barcelona to be the time she would reminisce for the rest of her life. But because of my impulsive nature, I ended up telling her, oh, why are you so interested in this? Oh, I'm not interested. If I would have just been a little more human and if I would have just been a little more understanding about where she came from, probably I would have felt the same way, but probably somebody else's time might have become one of the most memorable times in their life. So yes, if there is one thing I would like to change about myself, it is being impulsive. I do not want to say anything that would hurt other people. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
That's great hearing you, Gayatri. It's a really great attempt from your side, and accepting it is even a greater attempt. Thank you so much, Gayatri. Uh, Mr. Raj Mehta wanted to take our topic for, so can we have him?
Unfortunately, we don't have time. Let's just switch over.
That's
Payal, you want to hand?
Yeah. Can
sorry.
you need to hand it over back to me, madam?
Oh, I'm so sorry. So that brings us to an end of the table topics session. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Shakti. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Payal, for those lovely topics and for accommodating all the speakers who are interested. Almost all. Let's go ahead with our most important section for today, which is the evaluation. And I would love to call our double DTM, Rupinder Singh, for conducting the evaluation section.
Madam Toastmaster of the day, thank you so much. We are at 9:38. We should have been here at 9:35. We're 3 minutes behind schedule. So let me start by calling on distinguished Toastmaster Shaurendra Bhaumik to evaluate our first speaker. You are not, not on.
I beg your pardon. I hope now you can hear me. Will someone give me a confirmation?
You are audible.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you so much. Today, I was evaluating Ruchita for her speech on the style of personal communication. I must tell you, the first thing which struck me was how she set the context of her speech. She went about explaining her own experiences as she took over as a manager, and how over the years she has learned from her experiences. And the speaker was very eloquent in explaining very clearly how a small impact of what she had made in her changes had overall impacted her own style of communicating, from being an authoritative communicator to a person who used true learnings from her experiences and became a nurturing and supporting person through her communication. If I can quickly give you a couple of inputs from my end, which I hope will help you in improving the speech further, is the first thing I would have wanted you to please deliver this speech by just standing. Since you were so close to the camera, we could only see your face. And here again, I thought you could have used a little more emotions through your face. The reason why I requested you to stand up and speak, you could have used your hands to be more expressive. There were times when you were referring to your script, which is okay, but if you were making this with a little more of emotions on your face, it would have been a great, great speech very many times up ahead. But what I really took back was this beautiful transition that you thought you had brought about in yourself, which really comes across when you communicate to us in today's context. The speech really showed how you nurtured your team, how you support them, and how you've learned from your experiences. Brilliantly set the context, the story, and the evolution of being an excellent communicator came through very well. A lot of good wishes from my side in trying to help you in doing further improvements in yourself, because that's what's going to happen every day. Thank you very much.
you.
And over to the general evaluator.
Thank you very much, Shaurendra. Moving from one double distinguished Toastmasters, coming up yet another double. Let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta on stage. I request that he be spotlighted.
Thank you, General Evaluator Rupinder Singh DTM. First of all, let me check my audio. Am I audible?
You are audible.
Thank you. Today, when I started hearing the speech of Toastmaster Harishita Ahuja, I felt that she would talk about some love affair of ours. But as this speech developed, I came to know about her real love. I was thinking that she would take either mine or Rupinder's name as one of the handsome people who she was looking up to. But I came to know that she was put into love affair with accountancy. And what a real way of starting it. Ask it with a question and set your audience bound on their seats. In this speech, we came to know about her that her mother is a teacher and she did her internship from Bhiwani, and also she lived in Lakshmi Nagar for while doing articleship. So much so, as far as personal information about her is concerned. And we also came to know how she could manage with the little money she used to get from her house for paying rent and other things. It was a good speech with some laughing points here and there, like going to date. Going to date with accountancy was something surprising, you know, and it kept me bound on my seat because I felt that it is something I must listen up till the end, and I did it. But there are some points which I think she could have done in a bit better way. One is that it was good that she was smiling throughout the speech. In kudos to that, because there are people who are learning to smile and they are not able to do it till now. And the smile on the face was such that it showed that how confident she was while giving her icebreaker speech. But at the same time, I felt that the smile could have been changed a bit, like in style, in quantity. You cannot keep on smiling at the same pace, at the same quantity or quality. So some variety could have been there while giving a speech according to the points in the speech. Secondly, I felt that the speech was closed all of a sudden. I was expecting that it would be closed either in a loop or maybe with some logical point. But all of a sudden, she said that she was thinking of shifting from accountancy to communication, and that's the she joined Toastmasters. But instead of that, I would have loved to hear from her that how she would continue with the accountancy and still learn communication, or maybe she will combine both the accountancy and communication together to take her life further. Overall, it was a good and interesting speech. I came to know many things about Toastmaster Haritika, and I am sure that going this way, she would be able to deliver many better speeches in future as well. All the best to Haritika. Over to the John Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. Please vote for the best evaluator. And while you do that, I will begin with my evaluation of table topics. Timer, please time me for 2 to 3 minutes as I begin now. Sheila, I loved your confidence and I loved the way you literally sang your speech. Na 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 na. And then you used a wonderful term in the grand scheme of things. And I almost got reminded of Ratatouille, where that critic writes about the rat who can cook. And he says exactly the same way as you did, in the grand scheme of things. Alyssa, I like the pause you took right at the beginning, which showed that you were giving some thought to the topic. I loved your hand gestures, the way your hands were moving around, seemed like swimming, almost as rhythmic as swimming. Khushbu, a very well-rounded topic, bringing out the dichotomy that first your husband uh, was sociable and now he's become an introvert, and how you were not sociable and now you've become very sociable. Very well brought out. Shipriya, heart breaks and heart makes. I am probably going to use this as a speech title someday, and I'll be sure that I will credit you for it. Wonderful speech. Vardhan. Vardhan, you got a difficult and a long topic, and your topic continued even after you started speaking. But I was impressed with the counter argument that you gave, the, that it gave men a chance to improve. Gayatri, what can I say? Immediately made a choice, got into topic, told a story around it, concluded very well, as good as table topics can get. Keep on improving. That is all I have to say to you. When it comes to the opportunities, let me provide them generically. First of all, a few of the speakers, they ended early. Please at least wait for the green card to show up and think of what you can say until that time. I know that some of you were guests who've never been to a Toastmasters meeting before, but try to keep up until the green card. The another thing, some of the speakers, they started off on a very energetic note, but then that energy kept on tapering down. And then I think towards the end, they realized that, okay, I am low on energy. They try to get back up. Maintain a consistent energy. Maybe go up, come down, then go up, then come down, then go up, then come down, or maintain that level of energy. One of the persons that you could learn from is Haritika. Notice how she kept her smile throughout the speech. She maintained that constant level of energy. That is it for the table topics. I will now want you to listen to my tag team, as I call them in the reverse order. I would like our grammarian all the way from Puerto Rico, who's still somehow managing to stay awake and record uh, everything about us. Elisa, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Rupinder. This has been an absolutely outstanding night. And what I'm going to do now is just reminisce a little bit over everything that we have observed tonight. In terms of our word of the day, and sorry, I keep saying night, it is night here for me. I have to congratulate each one of you. We had a total of 12 times that the word reminisce was used. And I especially want to congratulate Gautri because she used it 4 times. Congratulations, Gautri. Oh my goodness, we had so many excellent uses of the English language. It was absolutely outstanding. I've got with Rushita, put out fires and get results. My journey to transform my communication style, and giving segue to a wonderful time. With Harikita, I've got, I like this one. I'm taking this one home. Let's convert friendship to relationship. And as she said, a stipend of 2,000 rupees. That word is challenging. I'm not even sure I know how to pronounce it, but stipend, there you go. Then in terms of some of the table topics, we had excellent use of vocabulary. Rupinder, you took some of mine, so that's okay. I'll mention the other ones. But I liked yours where you said evolution of being an excellent communicator. Someone else said, I don't have trauma accumulated in my heart. We also had synchronizing with me, complete socialite, given me an open-mindedness, and oh, I like this one, got a license to have a crush on a boy. That was very cool. In terms of a few vocabulary things that could possibly be improved upon, I've got a sentence here that says, someone said, most ultimate memorable moment. And the best thing in that situation would be to say most memorable moment or ultimate memorable moment and just choose one modifier. I also have another one that says, let's see, why you did not come to me earlier. You could switch that around and say, why did you not come to me earlier? And switch the object of the verb. One more would be, I can't choose for you which. And simply we would just say, I can't choose which. And last but not least, what many ways have you changed would be what ways have you changed? But friends, this has been a great night, outstanding. Loved all of your beautiful sentences and phrases. And like I said, I'm taking a few home all the way here to Puerto Rico. So thank you so much. You guys are great.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Alyssa, for that report. Let's see how clear we were as I call on stage Nimisha.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator, Toastmaster Rupinder. And to answer the question of distinguished Toastmaster Surinder, yes, I did beat the hell out of them. Now, going forward with my report, I am really happy, or I could say, I don't know. I have written the names, but I don't have any account in front of them. So it's basically, it's like empty page and I have names with them. for most of the people. For me, it was very difficult to find any filler for so many people today. Toastmaster Surendra Bhaumik, Elisa, Toastmaster Kapil, Toastmaster Haritika, Toastmaster Ruchita, Toastmaster Shiv Priya, all were flawless today. All. Congratulations to you. You have achieved a level in your journey in Toastmasters. Congratulations to all of you. For others, I have one. Let me go with the report and then I will tell what my analysis says. For Shakti Priya, we have double crutch 4, and 2 times R. Seeing the time she shared the stage, it is okay. And for Toastmaster Rupinder, journal evaluator Rupinder, it was like was so after was there was a sound which was a filler. Similarly for Gayatri, no filler word in the table topic, but when she was reminiscing her memories, she used you know as one a filler and as a filler. Similarly for Vardhan, he has because in the as a filler between the lines while he was sharing his table views on the table topic. Khushbu again and and for Payal same and have so these are kinds of when you have to complete the word, then you have to stop, take a pause. But best is to take a pause. Payal has around 10 plus hours, 2 shows. Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta has 5 hours, one and the double crutch for that. Sheila, when she was reminiscing, she has one and one so. So, what my observation is that uh, once we are reminiscing the memories, that has an emotional touch. So at that time, our brain is not active, our heart is active. So we are not that much concentrated on the speaking vocals of us. So that's why these things come. These are most of the emotional side, and it has been observation since long time that when we are in an emotional state of mind, or we tend to use these fillers. Uh, I will not give any recommendations since emotional levels are something we cannot. When we are on the, you did fabulous job when you were giving the table topics. So I don't have any recommendation for you. Just doing. I am seeing the improvement in everyone, even for those who are the. I'm seeing for the very first time. All the very best. You all did very nice. Today was almost a flawless in terms of hours and arms from my side. So kudos to all of you and all the very best for your future speeches.
Thank you, Nimesha. But what I can confirm is that you tried to make up for the otherwise flawless performance. I think I counted close to 6 repetitions and about 7 hours. Sharinder does this more accurately. So we used to have this
More than
contest
10
with
hours.
more than 10
More
hours.
than 10 hours, 6 times repetitions, and 4 so-sos.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Leave our counter alone.
let's call upon the timer to see how we did.
Okay, for easy reference, I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So hope you can see my screen. So here we have allotted time for speakers and then actual time they took. Ruchita, the allotted time was 5 to 7 minutes and she took 5 minutes 58 seconds. Haritika, allotted time was 4 to 6 minutes and she took 4 minutes 17 seconds. Sheila, my apologies, I couldn't flag green card because I had some system glitch. You took 1 minute 10 seconds. Elisa, you took 1 minute 54 seconds. Khushbu, 1 minute 40 seconds. Shipriya, 2 minutes 10 seconds. Vardhan, 50 seconds. Gayatri, 2 minutes 14 seconds. And in evaluator section, Shorendra took 3 minutes 22 seconds and Raj Mehta took 3 minutes 10 seconds. That's it on timer support.
Thank you. Audience, would you be so kind as to vote for the best auxiliary role player? I will now start with my evaluation of the meeting. I just checked if I was on mute and I was speaking to myself, which I am not. I will start with a recommendation, and my recommendation is for all role players, let us make a commitment to be present at 8:50 so that the meeting can start at 8:30. If we gather at 8:15, we can do our usual audio video checks, whether we are able to share screens or not, set some expectations. uh, I, being the meeting host, I started the meeting at 8:23, so I also take a lot of that blame, not just a part of that brain. Blame, not brain. Thank you. Other than that, let's see. Our presiding officer, I felt, while he was consistent as always, could have probably touched base with the Toastmaster of the day, asked her how she would have liked to be introduced, and that would have helped. In a similar way, as a sergeant at arms, I could have asked the presiding officer how he would like to be introduced. To the Toastmaster of the day, there is, I have only not, I have nothing but praise. I like the way she utilized the intervening time. At one point I felt concerned that maybe she's taking a lot of time, but it all worked out. In the end, we were able to get a sizable number of table topics in. But I love that theme, that hashtag throwback, took me down the memory lane, created some nostalgic moments. And if you remember, I was kind of smiling throughout. There was a brief moment where I kind of felt emotional, where Sharendra spoke about his first child, and those are always special. Anyone who's a parent will understand what I am talking about. But very well done, Shakti. I totally take on the blame for that confusion regarding the evaluators, and I think this is to the presiding or to the VP Education, that we should have a proper format for our meeting, as in we should have a proper agenda for our meeting. We can discuss that offline. When I come to my speech evaluators, they did not at all disappoint, but that is the par from them. They actually pushed the limits of excellence. The commendations were called out very well. Recommendations had suggestions as to what to do next. And honestly, I am glad that I was the meeting host and I did not have to vote for who was the best evaluator. I'm still not telling you who's the best evaluator. I'll tell you in due course of time. To my tag team, specific recommendations. First of all, Gregarian, wonderful job done. It was a pleasure listening to you. More importantly, it is so refreshing to have a grammarian who is smiling throughout, who is appreciative, because typically in India, when I come across grammarians, and even when I play the role, I'm more like a strict taskmaster. You did this, you did that, that kind of a thing. It did not come across as like that. It was a thoroughly enjoyable role. I could tell that you were absolutely enjoying your role. To the aha counter, apart from those multiple ahs and ums and filler words, very detailed report. I liked your analysis towards the end. Just one recommendation: give me a heads up that you would be doing a recommendation and you would need some more time. To the timer, I think wonderful report, very diligent time tracking. If you are going to show an Excel sheet like that, then rather than reading that report, I would like you to analyze that report, because everyone can see what are the timings. I mean, for added effect, you could add a green, yellow, red to those timings, but then analyze them. That okay, this speaker lost out time at this point, or this speaker went over time. I believe it was because of this reason. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to present data, then let's present it in a way. And this is something that we have a need for in corporate life as well. When we present, we just don't show them all the data. We actually interpret that data and analyze it. So I would like you to do that. When it comes to the meeting, I would say we had a very energetic meeting in part, and the Toastmaster of the day and the table topics had a large part to play in it, as did the speeches, by the way, wonderful speeches. We can perhaps maintain better time discipline, as in starting the meeting early. We are right now 4 minutes over time. I think we'll be around for another 5 to 10 minutes. Please bear with me. We are improving. My only concern is that today the attendance was a little bit less, and I would like to call upon the EC to put more efforts into PR so that we get more guests. One person that I missed out on was the table topics master. I must commend you on your choice of topics. For a moment, I was worried because Shakti was going around asking everyone what is your most memorable moment. And I thought that you might have that as a table topic and you might run out of table topics. No such thing happened. Very well done there. But a couple of things. Number one, keep the table topics short. I would request that keep it within 1 to 10 words. That's it. The other thing, try not to analyze the table topic, just one comment or something like wonderful table topic. I will remember the sentence for life, something like that. But in the end, I will also like to commend you for one thing. You did not indulge in, I have a box, choose a number between 1 and 7, and then I will give you a topic, because in an online meeting it does not make a point. It just wastes time. So wonderful meeting overall. I had a great time as a general evaluator. In fact, I was getting distracted. There was somebody at the door, and then somebody sent me a message, open the door, and I said no. I literally shouted into my phone, no. I will bear the consequences of that later, but for now I will hand it back to our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DTM Rupinder Singh. I thought you were gonna scold me for going over time and all that, but thank you for not doing so. With that, I hope you all enjoyed the meeting today. I wanted to make sure, since we have only 2 speeches today and one of them being the icebreaker, I wanted to make sure everyone was involved in the meeting, which is why the whole 30-second answer. And it is time for us to make more memories so that we could reminisce about them later in the future. With that, I guess I would call the meeting adjourned. Do we need to take roles for the next meeting? Would
You
that
hand
be
it
done?
over to the presiding officer.
All right. Please, couple, take it away. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Shakti. Okay, so before I note down next week's role, I would like to take a quick feedback from our guest about today's meeting. So starting with you, Elisa. Feedback about today's meeting.
Thank you so much. You know, one thing I just love is that when I look on all of the screens, I just see so many happy, smiling people. And I think it's amazing that you can be, you know, that excited at 8:30 in the morning. And it just gives me joy for life as well, right before I go to bed. I also really enjoy something special about this meeting is how you, in this case, Shakti, how you interspersed comments from the guests throughout the meeting and how you involved the theme all the way through. So I haven't seen that quite like that anywhere else. So I think that's really cool, really unique. And again, I hope to be able to see you again in the future.
Thank you, Elisa. Sheila, over to you.
I just really enjoyed it being my first meeting, my first Toastmasters meeting. I just really enjoyed meeting everybody. It was super enjoyable, and I'm just really glad I came. I enjoyed everyone's table topics. I enjoyed the speeches. I enjoyed learning how to give speeches better, make them more refined, make them more engaging. And just everybody was a joy to be around. So thank you for a memorable first Toastmasters meeting.
Thank you. Hope to see you next week as well. Vardhan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today also. And I really liked the meeting. And I know I haven't performed very well today. And also I know this is how I'm going to improve. Like, and please support me in further meetings. And thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Sure, Toast. Sure, Vardhan. Thank you. Mr. Raj.
Yeah, I observe fast every day from 9 p.m. the previous night till 1 p.m. the current day. But on Wednesday, I feel that I always have my breakfast, and that breakfast is this joining the Blue Quest Toastmasters Club meeting. And I have been enjoying it since weeks, and I would continue doing it. Thank you.
Okay, I will exempt Gayatri and Nimisha, but I will still ask from Haritika. Haritika?
Yes, it was such a wonderful meeting. Shaktipriya, you as Toastmaster of the Day did a wonderful job. Thank you, Rupendra sir, for calling me today and give my icebreaker because it was supposed to give on Thursday. I was supposed to give it on Thursday. And thank you, Rupendra sir, for helping me with this icebreaker. I would not have done it without your help. So thank you, and over to you, presiding officer.
Thank you, Haritika. Yeah, indeed, it was
Just
a
one
great
sec.
icebreaker.
Sounded like an Oscar speech.
Can I just take 1 second? Ritika, can you please send me 100 rupees for having used the word sir twice? Thank you. I'll give you a receipt for it.
I want you.
We accept credit cards also.
You can also add GST.
Yes. Yeah, we've got enough chartered accountants.
Rupinder, do you want to share poll results?
They're coming up. Until then, you take the roles for the next week. I will.
Sure.
Can we stop the recording now?
Thank you for reminding.